Okay, you've probably heard this many, many times before. People do business with those who they know, like, and trust. But how do you get known, liked, and trust? Well, a shortcut is to pick up your phone, start showing up on your stories or whatever channel you're using, and start using video to build a personal relationship with your audience. That's what we're gonna talk about today, especially related to how you close sales doing that. Welcome to Business Got Personal. This podcast is brought to you by VideoAsk, type from Slater's Tool. And hello, I'm Alex Antolino, Creative Director at VideoAsk and your host for today. Today we have Ramonica Plishett. She's a video marketing consultant and she's a tsunami of energy and good vibes. Hi Ramonica, how are you doing today?
I am awesome. So good to see you. Glad to be
Yes.
here.
I'm gonna go right in and ask you a question because this recording that we're doing today, it's happening because I was really excited about one of your posts that you put on your Instagram page. And that post, I remember you were saying, girl, something, okay, let me do my best interpretation here. You were like, girl, like if you only put like post on Instagram, that won't cut it, right? So
Yeah.
I want you to share with us, why do you think just post won't cut it and what will actually cut it?
Oh my gosh, I love it. So just posting alone is simply not enough. So when you post, it doesn't matter what type of image it is. People literally, they may know your vibe, but they don't know you at that moment. And so when you actually show up and use video versus just posting or use video along with posting, you really give your audience this opportunity, if you will, to get to know you. People who don't know me really feel like they know me because I actually show up in video. So it doesn't matter if I'm in my
Hmm.
hometown or if I'm visiting my mom. There are literally people who have just identified me as this person that they see in video on social media. So it builds a know, like, and trust. And so I just really, that post was me really inspiring people to really tap into video because for me and my clients, it's the new TV. So I just need people to understand there's more than just posting on the social media thing.
I love it. And I actually like how you say these people who don't know me, because that's true. And you're talking about asynchronous video, which is usually what we're used to when we're on Instagram or YouTube. We're watching someone and we feel like that person is talking to us. But what really happens is that that person was alone in their room, whatever, and they were just talking to a camera. But we feel we're establishing that connection. And that's something very fascinating, in my opinion. We're here today to talk about sales. So let's get specific. Why do you think video, besides building that personal connection, is good to closing sales?
Yeah, so the connection is there, but the biggest thing is it's a know, like, and trust factor. So again, I call it the Sam's or the Costco effect. So if you've ever
Mhm.
been to like a Sam's Club or a Costco, there's hundreds of thousands of items in the store. So people literally just like walking down the aisle, kind of like social media. People are just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. How do you stop the scroll so that you can get a sale? Well, when you put out video content, people feel like they know you. If they know, like, and trust you, they're going to buy. So your content is your video content is that thing that I've identified as something that builds a quick connection, kind of like the sample in the store. Because if you just walk by, you're like, oh, I don't know what that is. But if you hear it, see it, you can taste it. People are like, wait a minute, I like that. How do I buy it? So that's why I'm a huge fan of using video to help convert into sales. It's like you're right there, ever present with people, building a know, like, and trust. And it just makes it an easy sale when someone feels like, oh, I trust this person. They wouldn't lead me astray. A post doesn't do that, but video does.
I couldn't agree more with you. And I actually think that to anyone watching or listening to this, it's very, if you've never done this before, you don't know the power of it. And I can talk a little bit about my experience. I started making content 1.5 years ago. I was never into social media, never gave a shit about social media for my personal life, never cared about it. And I started making content because I wanted to share my stuff and branding ideas with the world. And I soon realized the power of stories. And it was for me stories when it made me click, that I would just like pick up my phone, start talking, and then people would start saying, hey, I feel like that same way too. And the thing that clicked for me was like, I never was thinking about that person when I recorded that, but that they felt like that because I was talking to them. And so that to me is like super powerful. And I like how you talk about like closing deals and making sales in this idea of like establishing that personal connection, the know, trust and like, right? I don't say it as fast
Absolutely.
as you. Maybe I need to train that part a little bit.
I call it KLT, not BLT. No like and trust. KLT, not a BLT, like the sandwich.
Mm. Love it. Okay. Is there any difference when I'm talking one on one with one person than when I'm talking one to many through video?
I feel like this is a yes and a no kind of thing because as we both have evolved in our content, initially, maybe you and along with myself, we were just coming to the market with our ideas. However, along the way, and this is how you generate sales, along the way, if you're putting out real, true, authentic content, you're going to attract in whoever your audience is. And as you attract in the awareness piece, you're going to actually generate sales. So initially, one to one, yes, but your one to many chat means that you've established a tribe, you've established an audience of people who are ready to make the movement with you. And so now you essentially have gone from one to many because you built a tribe, and that's what helps get sales. This thing with video includes a lot of different components. The first part, though, is you have to make it up in your mind that you're going to show up. And then just like you showed up and people started to resonate with your message, as you continued on your journey, now you've attracted in many people, right? And they're like, okay, what are you selling? Because that's what usually happens to me every single day when I'm doing video. And it happens for my clients too. This is why I'm a fan of business owners using video. If you decide to show up in the beginning, if people don't know you because there's no awareness about your brand, maybe there is just one person that you're talking to on your IG or your YouTube live. But if you
We've all
continue
been there,
to
by the way.
hello, yes. If you keep showing up in video, more people are attracted in to your message. So you have an opportunity to position your products and services in front of many people and get sales, and they'll be on the movement with you. But that doesn't happen. I mean, that doesn't really happen with a post. With a video, you can literally say something, and if that message resonates with people, your box could instantly flood. We know of people who have literally just gone viral from maybe one video, or maybe it took 10 videos before that happened. It starts though with a message, and it starts with you and a video camera. So video is huge. Like, you have to show up. I got some stories, plenty of stories to share with you.
Oh
And I
my
have
God,
one
go
about
ahead.
video ask. I got a video ask question. I don't know if you're going to ask me about it, but video ask helped me get sales. So like, I have to share that. You tell me when I
Go
can
ahead. Yeah,
share
yeah,
that.
yeah. Go ahead if you want to share about video ask. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not going to be the one saying no to talk about video.
So I have hosted a challenge called Push the Button, let's just say for the past 3 years or so. The first couple of
Mhm.
times I ran the free challenge, it was just me inviting people into a Facebook group. I remember the first time when the challenge was over, I didn't even have a product. It was just like, thanks for coming to my challenge. You guys have a great day. Like, I wasn't even selling anything. I was just so passionate about people having the confidence to actually use video because I knew
Mhm.
they could get sales. The second round of it, I did offer a course. This last iteration of it was last year when I did it, but there were 60 people who came into this live stream challenge. Now, this is where Video Ask came in because what I did was around day 3, I sent out a Video Ask survey. And you know this, but the audience may or may not know that if you're using Video Ask, you can set up a series of questions, aka like a video funnel for people to actually go through. So I was asking questions about, hey, what else do you need? What did you learn this week? What would you like to see in a course? What price point even are you interested in? And so I made everything multiple choice. Obviously, I had my benchmarks kind of set in my head, but I wanted to put it out to the market to see where they were. These people who had gone through the challenge, I'm showing up for free. I'm delivering, 10, 15 minutes worth of content every day during the challenge. So I'm giving great value, which I always recommend that people do that. So I get this survey back, and I know at least 15, 20 people answered the survey, which that's a lot. It may not sound like a lot, but that's a lot. What happened, these 60 people, over half of them converted to the paid course. So Video
Mm.
Ask played a huge part in helping me make revenue. So you want to talk about sales, use Video Ask, set up a video funnel, make sure that you're engaging with your audience because they will tell you whether or not your content is good. They will tell you how much they want to pay. They'll tell you what they like and what they actually need next. And it just made it so seamless, and it made sense because we were doing video. And so now they're going through a video funnel. Just makes sense. This is how you do it. I think oftentimes we overcomplicate things. Really, we do. Like, I think people have just become students of learning, and I've learned to become a student of execution. Whether it's for me or
Oh,
my
I like
client.
that.
If you're a business owner, you always have to execute. Walmart, Coke, big brands, Video Ask, we're executing every single day. So when we show up, we have this cool video funnel. People go through it like magic. It just helps your business. And those people felt like they had a voice. So it wasn't just one way, it was real, true two-way communication because they were leaving me video. What better way than to really capture what your audience wants than to actually hear their voice and hear them say, this was helpful. I'd like this. I'd like that. You've already helped me do X, Y, and Z. It was like my sales page on day 4 was built out based on the data that I collected from Video Ask.
So you used VideoAsk as a way to get information, get like data actually to build your next product. And I wonder, do you use any of the footage you captured from your customers on that VideoAsk as testimonials, for example, or something like that?
I did. So because yes, so I so many times I have used that exact same data to let people know what's going on. But I've even taken Video Ask a step further from that because I work with people one on one, or sometimes when I have extra room on my calendar. Again, this is how people can get sales in a very simple way. So I may have some extra time next week. I'll open up my calendar. I'll say I have some extra time, like 10 or 15 minutes for a chat. One of the things that I always do is I'll say, hey, if you'd like a copy of this recording, leave me some feedback. I'm not telling you what to say, but leave me some feedback because I'm going to send you a link. When I get that back from them saying, you open my mind to this, you help me do this, how do I work with you next? It's like this video thing becomes a no brainer because you're able to collect social proof. Your potential client or your client feels like they have a voice. And now when other people see and hear real true testimonials, it's like it's a winning formula. I have there's a local lady that I worked with, and on her Video Ask testimonial, she said, every time I connect and meet with Ramonica during my one-on-one session, I feel like I walked up to the ATM machine because she takes my ideas and she turns them into money. I have played that thing
Wow.
over so many times, for potential clients or on a sales page. It's
Nice.
like that thing that's money for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I really like your approach, and I want to address to anyone watching that still may have some, hesitations to get started with video. Just address some concerns, some like classic concerns about video. And the first one is one that was a little bit painful even for me at the beginning. I consider myself as an extrovert, and I don't have a single problem talking to a camera. I'm comfortable with it, but I have to admit it was very hard at the beginning because I don't know, I talked about this on another video on how to make video actually, which we'll link somewhere here so you can take a look. But one of the main challenging things for me was that when you're talking to a camera, you're talking to an object. And actually, if you've ever tried talking to, like, I don't know, like a bottle of water or something like that, it's very distracting. Like it's hard to keep focused and like know what you're saying. So this is already like the first objection that people may find. But I want to pick your brain a little bit about like the camera thing, because once we've overcome all these like technicalities, let's say, there's the it takes up a lot of energy. Like where you and I are here talking, and I know for sure, like after like 20 minutes, I hang up with you. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm done. The recording. So I don't know. You have a lot of energy too. So I wonder, how is it for you? How do you feel about this? And how do you manage spending some time on camera every day?
Right. So the first thing is, if my energy level is off, that's a day where I'm definitely not getting on camera. Just because it's
Oh, I
it's
like
not
that.
it's not gonna work. Like, I don't believe in forced fun. I don't force my clients to do anything that they're really not feeling, because it's just not gonna be a good look, right?
Mhm.
So now there are some things that I do recommend in terms of, like, getting ready for the camera, especially as it relates to energy. So, number one, I definitely believe in like hype music. So, I tell people all the time, what is your favorite song? I was going to say, tell Alexa to cue it up, but like, you really need to put your favorite song on, and you really need to like jam and rock out. If you're an
Mm.
affirmations person, I really believe in standing in front of the mirror and really like calling those things onto yourself, like saying who you are. Because at the end of the day, I believe that people who are willing to show up on video and take that leap, I believe that they're servants. Like, they really want to serve an audience of people. And if you remember that, like, hey, I'm doing this because I really want to help this other individual do a said thing, then that's going to drive you back to, okay, you know what? Forget about me. It's about them. Let me show up and deliver this message. So, affirmations, great music. Don't force yourself to do it. If you're having a bad day, that's not the day to do video. Wait till the next day. Or maybe, if it's early morning, maybe later in the afternoon, that's a better time for you. Like, I'm an afternoon late night person. I can do video at 2 a.m. like it's nobody's business. And I think, like, in life, we've just been conditioned to do a lot of certain things. Like, for breakfast, we eat breakfast food. Well, not necessarily for me. I may have hot wings for breakfast, because why not? So people need to be in their flow. What's your flow?
Right.
If you're hyped up and your energy's great at 5 p.m., that's the
Go
time that you
ahead.
should be doing your video. So that's
Right.
what I'm
And
saying. I like to keep it really simple, because if you start thinking too long, I think you think wrong. Long is wrong. I mean, just keep it real
long
simple.
is
Do it when
wrong.
you
I love
feel
it.
like it.
Long is wrong. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like the music tip, because someone who worked in fashion before working in tech, this is something we used to do a lot on fashion shootings, just to keep the energy up for the models, and like just to keep it up for the whole team, because you spend a lot of time shooting. And yeah, so I actually never applied this in my tech life. Now that I'm making content, I should start thinking, oh, maybe that's a good thing to pick up again. Cool. So I've seen your content. I've seen, of course, some of your video asks, and you do a great job. And I think besides your natural energy, with I guess like that's a little bit of a given to you in a way, that was also a given to me. But one of the things that you do very well, which is not necessarily a given but more a strategic choice, is how you manage to use curated video content on certain interactions of your customer journey, and how you are super raw and spontaneous on the coach talking to your phone on some others. So take us through a little bit of your thought process on how you make that choice and make that call, whether you're going to produce a little bit the image or you're just going to be raw and spontaneous.
Yeah, so I always, whenever I go live, it's always intentional. And so
Hmm.
that's another thing for those who are watching and or listening. Let it be, so I know if I'm just going live to hang out, or I know if I'm going live with, hey, this is something that I really need small business owners to be thinking about. And maybe I'm doing it in a fun kind of way. At the
Hmm.
core of it all, because this is something that most people say, I don't know how to say what you say or do what you do. Well, I have a formula. And that's
Okay.
what That's
Formula
what helps
time.
me move through the process of my information, because in my head, I'm knowing that these are some of the boxes that I need to check. It's not like a
Mm-hmm.
this heavy duty scripted thing. It's just like you're making a cake. You know, there's certain ingredients that need to go in the cake. And so I've created a formula of what needs to happen during my video process, whether it's casual, I'm educating, I'm informing, I'm creating awareness, I'm building
Oh,
know, like, and
okay.
trust. Every video has this formula woven into it somewhere.
I'm sold. What's the formula?
So the formula is called gossip. I wanted it to be something that
Oh.
would resonate with most people, because we've all heard some gossip, we've participated at some point in our life. We're not going to judge you if you're still a gossiper, because I mean, come on, we like a
Some
little
more
good,
than other.
right? We like some tea. We like the good tea. So I'm like, gossip, this is perfect. So what happens in gossip, it's an acronym. So the first thing that you need to do in your video is like, you need to grab their attention. All right.
Hmm.
That's the G. You got to do that, because if you think about a gossip story, when someone calls you, they're like, woo, you're not going to believe what just happened. You're like, hold on, do I need to sit down? This is it, right? So we got this gossip model. So the G is grab their attention. Okay. And then the other thing we need to do is we need to open with like, it's open with like a statement of fact. Okay. So what happens in a gossip story, it's like you gotta have, there are layers to gossip, right? And then you get to this S is like you need to share who you are. And
Okay.
then the other S is like stirring the pot. And I'll kind of walk you through a model, but then we kind of need to stir the pot or stir up their emotions. And then we need to give the actual information, the juice, the tea, the gossip. And
Mm-hmm.
then the P is depends on where you are in the process. Can't get that out. I saved a little bit of wiggle room for the P, because you can be pitching, you can be positioning, depending on where you are in your cycle with your audience or the type of content that you're actually putting out. And so I literally just took something that we do every day. And when I walk my clients through it, I'm like, tell me what happens when you're gossiping. Walk me through what happens. And they literally tell me everything that I just said. And I'm like, then you know how to put out content. And this is how you actually structure. They're like, okay, I'm good on the structuring, but like, so what do I really say? And I'm like, okay, no problem. I have some templates for you. And actually, I have some that I'll share with your audience. I have tons of them, but I actually brought some to share with your audience. So don't let me forget to give that to you
Oh,
and share just
nice.
a couple of those,
So
because it's easy.
absolutely, and we'll link them below so you can download them. That's very generous of you. Thanks so much. And by the way, can we just write a book about this? How good is this framework? I'm very biased. I love gossiping. I'm super guilty of it, and it's just good. It's just good storytelling, good gossip. It's good storytelling, and I think that's why this formula is probably like working so well for you, because you're telling a story, you're grabbing the attention, you're like going from less to more, and then you're like driving action. Love it. Great stuff. If we don't write a book, I'm gonna ask you to write some article for some tabloid or something like
Oh,
that.
we're doing a lot with it, because so we are working on a book. We're working on, a little video series. I always have
Oh,
this. So this has become a part of it. So we're working on a lot of things, including some beauty stuff as well, because one of the things that I work with a lot of women, and I hear them say, it's just too much to get ready. And I'm like, wait a minute. We're just talking about some lashes. We're talking about some lip gloss and some good skincare. Come on. What are we
mm.
really talking about here? Plus, when you actually put yourself together, who doesn't feel better? So I'm like, wait a minute. Something in the milk's not clean. I think y'all not telling me the truth. Which one is it? Do you not want to get ready, or do you just not want to do the video? And they're like, okay, you called me out. I don't know how to get ready. All right, this is what you do. So sometimes I will show up and share some beauty tips, because it morphs into
Mm.
this video thing. If you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, what can you do? Show up on video.
And you know what? I love that you're mentioning this because sometimes, like the whole looking good thing could be a bit of a taboo. And I know you usually talk to women, but like also for men, like I
Yeah,
was just shaving before the interview and it's just a way to, feel like you're ready, right? And I think this
absolutely.
applies to everyone. I always wear my cap. I always, for these episodes, probably if you've seen more than one, you've already seen that I'm always wearing the same stuff. And the reason for that is that I don't need to think about what I'm like, oh, what am I gonna wear? Oh, today I don't look good. Oh, my hair doesn't look good today. Whatever, I need to go to a hairdresser. No, you forget about all these things and you're ready to go. And this actually it pulls out the energy out of you. I don't know how you feel about this, but in a way, when I get ready for an interview like this, I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm ready. And so I think that's really good advice. Have anyone told you about their experiences about this?
About what part? The getting ready part or
Yes,
the
yeah. So when you give this feedback to people, how do they respond? Is this something that they thought about it before or no?
no, well, I know for women, they're thinking about it. It's
Yeah.
like, it's the hair, the makeup, the lashes, because
Mm.
people are heavy into, makeup now. It's like 10 layers of a little bit of everything. It's a full glam look. That is the part of social media that can be very intimidating for people. However,
Mm.
what I always say is you don't have to do full glam. If you're full glam, go for that. If you're not, don't. Be your real, true, authentic self. So, whether you're male or female, whatever you need to do so that you look good and you feel good, emphasis on you. So, you said when you put on your black tee, your cap, you feel good energetically. So now you can show up. For someone else, that may be a cute headscarf, a baseball cap to the front that's blue or red. It doesn't matter. It's what makes you feel good is going to actually allow you to show up. And I just encourage my people when they say, but I don't wear red lipstick because I'm usually in red lipstick. I don't wear
Mm.
red lipstick. And my question is always, who said you had to? And they're
Mm.
like, it's challenging this thought process around showing up in front of the camera and being who you are because on social we see so many different people. We see influencers, famous influencers, I should say, because I feel like anyone who has the courage to show up on video is an actual influencer. You may not be a high paid celebrity influencer, but you are essentially influencing the people that you've been assigned to take some action. And without that commitment to show up, you're leaving a gap or a hole in the marketplace. Everybody may not serve millions of people, but what if you serve hundreds of people and you change their lives? Are you effective? Absolutely. So I like to take away this stigma associated with influencers and video, and you have to have 10,000, 10 million followers before people will listen. That's just not true. People are connecting with people, and video is the vehicle that allows you to do that.
Amazing. Thanks for that. That was great. And I think it's really important actually that we spent a little bit of time talking about this and that we have spent a little bit like what 5 minutes talking about this because this is the number one problem that I realize people have. And I've talked to many people with the job that I have right now
Yep.
about the challenges of like jumping and making video. And the number one issue, whether they're aware of it or not, is not, I don't know how to pick up a camera. I don't know where to position my light. It's all here. It's
Yep.
all here. And I like how some people may think, oh, why are we talking about makeup? Why are we talking about looking good? Dude, because that's the thing. Like that, whatever you need to feel good about it, that's
Yep.
what will allow you to start putting out content. And guess what? Like it or not, in this time that we live in, that's what you got to do to get your
And
brand out and to get known and to get, to improve your reputation. And this is the game that we're in today. So you better stop judging or questioning and start working on those emotions to get your content out. That's
Oh,
how I
that's
see
so
it too.
true. Like video content is not going anywhere. And I'm always saying, don't be like that person who said, I hate technology and computers, especially like 20 years ago, there were people like, I'm not going to use the computer. Okay, you're left behind now, right? There are people that we know that struggle with the tech. And it's like those were people who were unwilling to embrace it. Video is the same thing. We all know that traditional TV views are down. People are watching things on their device, whatever, phone, tablets, whatever. They're watching a streaming service, not traditional TV as we know it. And so what I know, because I'm, this video expert, is we're even seeing a lot of these transitions happen in e-commerce. So people were selling their items online. Now, what I'm seeing, I think I may have mentioned this to you, I'm an Amazon influencer. So now you have companies who are reaching out saying, hey, will you do a live stream and will you share my product and my service? So now we're seeing it, that video transfer into the e-commerce space. So now they're going to be there'll be these micro versions. This is a prediction. Y'all write this down. There'll be these micro versions of HSN sort of everywhere. And if you think about it, you're starting to see it on certain social media platforms where regular, everyday males and females, kids, they're showing up and they're saying, here's my item. You like it, you can see it. I'm holding it up. I'm trying it on. They're selling it. That's the next new wave. And so, again, if traditional TV is gone and this is where we are now, and as a business owner, you're saying you don't want to have content up, to me, you're closing your doors for 5 years down the road. You're just kind of shutting things down now. Video is something that's free. Need some paid tools like a VideoAsk to go with you and kind of complement, your services and what you're trying to do. But don't box yourself out of the market because you're so focused in on, maybe, let's be real, people are afraid to be judged. They're wondering what someone's going to say or what they may think. The truth of the matter is they're going to say or think those things anyway.
So true.
So you may as well show up and get paid on video. Just, this is the way to
All
do
right.
it.
So hopefully, with all these things that we've been talking about, you are a little bit more sold on the idea, if you aren't already, of just make some video, even for your stories. Like I think story is a really nice way to get started with video, because there's less pressure about like the production quality. You can pick up your phone. That's what everybody does, and they're gonna be gone in like 24 hours. So how much can you fucked it up that it's so bad if it stays for like 24 hours and then it's gone? Like, it's not like, the risk is so small that yeah, it's a good way to start. I love this conversation, and we're gonna wrap it up just starting to the main topic of this episode, which is sales. So now that we've worked through all of these emotions, and now we've talked about all these things and your framework, just to wrap it up, Ramonica, can you give us one or two strategies to actually turn a a person into a sale with video?
Absolutely. So the first thing is, obviously, if you show up in video, they feel like they know, like, and trust you. So that's going to help you get a sale.
Hmm.
The thing that I'm seeing that most people don't do when they make the decision to show up in video, there's no call to action. So you need to always make sure that there's a call to action. The other thing is, if you've already built a rapport, you've already put your feet in the sand with a particular audience, make sure that you make offers, because I find that that's kind of goes hand in hand with not doing video. People simply aren't making an offer. Will you buy from me? They're not even asking. That's another thing. Video is not just for social media. Another way that you can get sales is use video inside of your emails, use video inside of your text messages, or use it inside of your VideoAsk video funnel. Ask them to take a next step. I'm really seeing that kind of missing in the marketplace. I take a lot of my cues from big business along with what I know about tech and video. When I think about your traditional big box brands, they're not really doing anything abnormal or crazy. They're doing the same thing that they've consistently done. So my job is to make sure that business owners know how to do those traditional things. They're showing up. So when you think about any big box retailer, Take a look at what you see on TV or on social. They just show up. You see their commercial. Well, we're the commercial. Show up and tell people what you want them to buy or what action you want them to actually take next. You're going to get sales. You have to just ask. And again, if I'm asking, hey, will you buy my stuff? Most of the time, people are like, click yes, where do I sign up? So ask, this is not complicated. This is business 101 infused with some dope videos. That's it. And you're the dopeness. I can't even say that enough. Everyday common people that I know make a decision to show up and ask people to buy. They show up on video. They know, hey, I need to generate some money. Well, maybe I'm going to sell someone else's stuff. Maybe they're doing some affiliate marketing. It doesn't matter. You just have to show up and you actually have to ask. It's like really that simple.
I think that's a great way to, leave people thinking with these thoughts and wrap it up here. Ramonica, thanks so much. If people want to get in touch with you, they love your energy as much as I do. How can they contact you and get in touch with you?
Instagram is the best place, and there's a link in my Instagram bio, and there is like free content galore. So yeah, Instagram or YouTube is primarily where quite a bit of my content's located.
Awesome. Now go find her. She's amazing. Ramonica, I had a blast. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, Ramonica and I are very interactive people. So probably be in the next few days responding to all your comments and show up a little bit, just put yourself out. Just if you don't have a question, but you liked or just had a good time watching this, just let us know. You leave a comment and say, hey, thank you guys. And that's it. And if you hate us, just let us know too. So we, change and we become someone else. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Okay. I'll stop talking. I don't know why I'm talking so much. I'll see you in the next episode.